Hai teman-teman, and welcome to our first story time session. What I'd like to do today is read to you a story from Balinese children's favourite stories. So this original storytelling comes to us from the island of Bali, which is an island that some of you might have heard of. It's a big holiday destination. Before we get into our story today, I'd like to share with you some key words that you might hear as we read this story. So we've got our two characters. We've got the word semut, which means ant, and we've got our burung. Burung is the word for bird, yeah? Then we've got two feelings. We've got sedih, which is sad, and senang, which is a feeling I'm hoping we're all feeling today. Senang means happy, yeah? So our two feelings opposites, we've got sedih and senang, yeah? All right, the story I'd like to share with you today is the story of the ant and the dove. So put your listening ears on, find a comfy position and sit back and relax. Once upon a time, in a paddy field in Bali, there lived a pretty little dove called Kunan. He had a steely grey-blue cap, shiny green neck and bright orange eyes. Kunan spent his days flying over the streams, through the trees, and then cooing gaily in the sun. His favourite food was rice that grew in the rice paddies, and he would fly down from his perch and sit up on the stalks and then peck at the small grains of rice. Until, that is, the farmer's son saw him. Lihat is to see. The rice fields would echo with a loud clack, 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 as the boy, who was sitting on in a small bamboo hut that was built above the ground, he shook his clacker from morning to night to frighten the birds away. Clack, 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 clack. His job was a very important one, because the Balinese believed that rice is a gift from the gods and it should be eaten with every meal. While it's growing in the fields, the Balinese perform lots of ceremonies to make sure that it grows big, tasty and ripens quickly. And they also make sure that the doves, or the burung, and other birds do not eat the rice before it's ready to be harvested. Well, early one sunny morning, Kunan had again eaten a fine breakfast before the farmer's son came out to shoo him away. He flew into the trees by the stream to rest, and he was feeling senang, happy, because he had a full belly and it was a good day. But all of a sudden, he saw something that was very small and struggling in the water below. He flew down to take a closer look, and what Kunan saw was the semut, the ant, yeah, semut. He was struggling in a little body of water. Well, he was going around and around. He was moving very fast, and the poor little creature was not going to last much longer. Kunan could see that the semut, the ant, was drowning. So Kunan had to act really quickly, and he knew this. So he headed down and he got a stalk. He poked that stalk into the puddle towards Kunan, towards the ant. And the ant crawled up the stalk and then made it safely out of the puddle. He sat in the sun and dried off. He was quite frightened, but he was going to be okay. "How can I ever thank you?" said the ant to Kunan. "You saved my life." "Well, it was actually nothing," replied the burung, the bird. "I would have done the same for anyone else that was in trouble." "Well, if there's anything I can do for you in return, please let me know," said the ant. "Of course I will," said Kunan, although he thought it was very unlikely that such a small creature was going to be able to help him if there was a problem. Soon, the two new friends parted and they went their separate ways. Before long, it was midday and Kunan was starting to think about lunch. He was feeling lapar, hungry. So he went into the paddy fields again, but the farmer's boy wasn't there. So Kunan came closer, the dove came closer, and he realised that he had not been spotted. So he munched away on the rice grains as quickly as he could, finishing every little grain that he could see. He thought it was a bit strange that the boy wasn't there making that clack, clack, clacking sound, and he couldn't actually believe his luck. So once he had a full belly, he went up and he fell asleep in a nearby tree. What the dove, or the burung, didn't know was that the boy had a plan. He was never very far away at all, and he was watching on from a distance. He crept to the edge of the field and had hidden himself from the bird. He was waiting to see where the dove went for his afternoon nap. So he'd spotted the dove in his resting position, and he had a plan to try and shoot some little arrows towards the dove and ping him down once and for all, because this boy didn't want this dove in his rice field anymore. So the boy positioned himself, with a dart in his hand, and he was ready to throw the dart at the dove. But our ant friend saw what was happening. And you know what he did? He gathered all his other Semut friends, all his other ant friends, gathered them around, and on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, the ants all took a bite into the boy's leg. The boy screamed in pain. He jumped up and he ran away. And our friend, the dove, remained safe. So this story shows us that one good deed can lead to another, and the 2 friends were able to look after and protect each other. I hope you enjoyed that story. Sampai jumpa. Until next time.